class we will be dealing with chapter 2 of the Indian Patent Act. So this chapter talks about inventions which are not patentable. So the main reason for this is because India, like I already said in the previous class, is a member to the TRIPS agreement. So this TRIPS agreement in Article 27 says each member country has the right to decide which invention can be granted patent protection and which cannot be granted patent protection. So it is the country's right to decide. So India has decided that certain types of inventions, so inventions relating to certain aspects, cannot be granted patent protection. So this is what is mentioned in chapter 2 of the Indian Patent Act. So this chapter 2 has 3 sections, that is section 3, section 4 and section 5. Now section 5 has been completely omitted because our Patent Act has been amended. So right now we just have only section 3 and section 4. So come, we'll go see what each section talks about. Okay guys, now we'll see what section 3 has to say. So section 3 talks about inventions which are not patentable. So this is a very important section, so you guys have to pay attention to it carefully. So section 3 clause A tells that inventions which are frivolous and contrary to natural laws cannot be considered to be patentable. So what do you mean by frivolous? Frivolous means something which is quite silly. Let me give you an example for it. Suppose I am telling my particular machine which I invented, it has more than 100% efficiency, that's why you should give me patent. That's considered to be silly because by 100% itself your machine is properly working. Now what can I say something for contrary to natural laws? Like I'm coming up with a device for house break-in. You all know theft is wrong, it is contrary to natural law, nobody should commit it. Now if I'm coming up with a house break-in device, I'm aiding for wrong to be committed. So that's why any device which is contrary to natural laws will be considered not an invention and it cannot be granted patent because it is not an invention. Section 3b talks about inventions which are contrary to public order or morality or which causes serious prejudice to animal life, plant life, humans, environments, anything. So any invention which causes any kind of harm to animal life, plants, animals, and it is against public order and morality, then it will not be considered to be an invention at all. So what can I give an example for this? Okay, if I am coming up with a particular app for hacking email accounts, then it is against public order and morality. And by the way, what do you mean by prejudice? Prejudice means you are causing harmful effect. So by hurting, you are not supposed to hurt any other living being, you are not supposed to destroy your environment, right? That's why any invention which aids in that purpose will not be considered to be an invention at all. Section 3c talks about mere discovery of scientific principles. So discovery, you should know the difference between the term discovery and inventions. Discovery is something which is already there, you are just finding it, whereas invention is not there, you have applied your mind and you have come up with that particular product. So there is a difference between discovery and invention. So anything which you discover, the discovery of a scientific principle. So what do you mean by scientific principle? Let's take an example. We all know gravity, anything which goes up comes down. So it is already there in nature. Nobody made an invention in it. It was just discovered, right? So those things cannot be granted patent protection. Why? Because there is no product, no process. It is already existing in nature. So things which already exist in nature cannot be granted patent protection. So section 3e talks about mere admixture. Mere admixture means you're mixing up anything and coming up with something new. Then it won't be considered to be an invention. I'll give you an example for it. See, what if there is a medicine which treats cold and there is another medicine which treats fever. Now I am just mixing both two inventions and telling that I came up with a particular medicine which has the element to treat both fever as well as to treat cold. then it won't be considered to be an invention at all. Basically because I have not invented anything. I have just taken A, taken B, mixed it together and made a new product as AB. So that won't be considered to be an invention. Okay, section 3F talks about mere arrangement, rearrangement or duplication of known devices. So all these things will not be considered to be an invention. Why? Because I have not invented anything. I have just rearranged the way it is. Okay, I'll give an example. See, if I am having a laptop, the laptop, it is having the CD player on the right side. Now I am coming up with a new laptop telling, no, the CD player is on the left side, so I have invented something new. No, you have just rearranged the way it is. And moreover, duplicate products, we all know what is meant by duplicate. So all those things will not be considered to be an invention at all. Section 3H talks about methods relating to agriculture and horticulture. So you all know any invention, if you get patent, then you have the exclusive right over it. So you can use it in whatever manner you want. Now, if I come up with any invention which aids for agriculture and horticulture purpose, then my way of growing the crops or its increased production will be more. Other people won't be able to use it. That's the main reason why any invention which aids in agriculture and horticulture purposes are considered to be not patentable at all. Okay. Section 3I talks about any invention which relates to medical, surgical or any other treatment with regard to humans, animals or plant life. So anything which aids in these process will not be considered to be an invention at all. Basic reason why, you all know, any invention, if it's granted patent, only that particular person will be able to use it in whatever manner he wants. Now, for example, if I am having a particular device which aids in treating AIDS, or let's take an example, maybe a cardiac disease or anything, and I am in one particular area, what about other people in the world who are not able to access this thing? Then they will not be able to get treatment for it, right? So treatment, anybody in the world should be able to be having access to that device. That's how they'll be able to treat the diseases. That's the main reason why any device which aids in medical treatment, surgical methods, all those things cannot be granted patent protection at all. Section 3J tells us that plants, animals, other than microorganisms are considered to be not patentable. They are not inventions at all. Why? Because you already know both plants and animals are already existing in nature. They are living beings. So you cannot grant patent to it. Whereas microorganisms can be granted patent because you are experimenting with it, new types can be formed. That's the reason why microorganisms are given a particular exception. So they are considered to be patentable, whereas natural beings, plants and animals are not considered to be patentable. Section 3K talks about mathematical or business method. So these things are not considered to be inventions because it is already there. It is a mere formula. That's why it is not considered to be an invention. Any method, like for example, I am telling 5 plus 5 is equal to 10. That is correct. 7 plus 3 is also 10. So just because I am coming up with a different way of calculation doesn't mean it is already there. So these methods, how you calculate things, how you conduct your business, these things are just a way of idea. It is already there. There is no invention, there is no process involved, there is no product in it. That's the main reason why these things are not considered to be inventions and therefore they are not patentable. Section 3L talks about literary works, artistic works, dramatic works, cinematographic films, sound recordings. So these things cannot be granted patent protection. The first reason is that they are not coming under the ambit of inventions. They are falling under the ambit of copyright. In the starting of the class itself I said there are two types. One is copyright and the other is industrial property. So these works come under the ambit of copyright. That's the main reason why they are not granting patent protection to it. They are having a separate protection, that is copyright protection. Section 3M tells us that any method of performing a mental act or any method of playing a game will not be considered to be patentable. Why? Because these are mere ideas. An idea cannot be patentable. Only an invention can be patentable. If I am coming up with a particular way of playing a game, you might come up with another way of playing the same game. It's all just an act. It's a mere idea. That's the main reason why you can't get patent to it. Section 3N tells us that presentation of information is not patentable. Why? By presenting, I am just passing that information. There is no utility there, right? There is no device there. There is no invention there. By presenting, I am just telling what is already there to others. That's the main reason why when you are presenting an information, it won't be considered as a patentable product. Section 3O tells us that topography of integrated circuits are not patentable. Topography of integrated circuits, that's what I said in the starting of the class. The chips of the phones, computers, they are what considered that you cannot patent it. That's because first thing, they are having a separate act, that is Semiconductor Integrated Circuit Layout Design Act. Since they are having a separate act, they are not protected under Patent Act. Section 3P talks about traditional knowledge. So what do you mean by traditional knowledge? Anything which is passed on from generations to generations. The knowledge which is passed on from generation to generation is what you consider as traditional knowledge. I'll give you an example. Let's take turmeric. We all know that if you mix turmeric and milk and drink it, it will boost your immunity power. We also know that turmeric can be used as an antiseptic. So these all things how we got to know, because our ancestors told us it's passed on from generation to generations. Now if I am coming up with a particular product and telling no, this product has turmeric in it, so it is new, it won't be considered patentable because any person in India right now will know the use of turmeric. That's the main reason why any traditional knowledge products will not be considered to be patentable. Section 4 talks about inventions relating to atomic energy. So these inventions cannot be granted patent protection. Main reason is because when you have patent, you have the exclusive right to use it in whatever manner you want. So to prevent that, government has decided that you cannot get patent to these products because there is high chance that you can misuse this product. The second important thing that you can't get patent to it is because these atomic energy products are having a separate act, that is Atomic Energy Act 1962. So since they are already protected under a separate act, they are not protected under the Indian Patent Act. Okay guys, we'll stop our class as of now. So we'll see what we learned today. So we saw section 4 and section 3. All the clauses in section 3 apart from clause D. So in my next class, I'll be dealing with clause D in an elaborate manner. Thank you for watching this video. So if you guys like my class, then please to like and subscribe to my channel. Thank you.